Welcome back. The People's Democratic Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar, has declared readiness to lead coalition of opposition parties to remove the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, come 2027. Atiku disclosed this in a congratulatory message to governors of the People's Democratic Party, whose elections were upheld by the Supreme Court on Friday. In a statement signed by his media office in Abuja, Atiku described the decision of the court as good news for the people of Bauchi, Plateau, Cross River, and Zamfara states, and indeed a win for constitutional democracy. He also reaffirmed his position that only a united opposition force can strengthen democracy in Nigeria. Virtually, we have Babatunde Abdulaziz, Supervisor for Job and Wealth Creation, Ejibo LCDA. All right.
And also with us in the studio, we still have Mr. Akin Fatunke.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Thank you.
All right, I think I want to just ask a very quick question here, and I'm going to come to you, Mr. Abdulaziz. Well, it is, there is the measure plan. When I say measure now, you know better, of parties coming together. In fact, yesterday, Professor Pato told me he was quoted in a particular interview that he mentioned that he's spoken to some of these presidential candidates from the past. The question is the possibility of this measure very, very clear, owing to the fact that these parties also have their primary assignments and, of course, their objective? Is this merger going to really happen, in your opinion?
Good morning. First of all, to me, I'm just going to tell you that when it comes to the issue of political parties merging, it's not something that just happens overnight. And I'm just going to go into the whole issues. Looking at the man in question, in which I talked about leading the coalition and all, in person of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, with his pedigree, one would the APC wouldn't take such an individual for granted and all. But politically, it's a dangerous move against the APC. If we all could recall that it was coalition that sent the PDP packing in 2015. So no political party would probably take that for granted. But knowing fully well that you need to bring in the interest of different individuals and all and everything. I don't know. You have to between you and I here. Let's be realistic. Who's going to drop his own bid? Is it Kwankwaso? Will it be Peter Obi? Who's going to decide to probably be the who's going to be the running mate of another? Because all of this interest must be probably talked about before a coalition could come about. Because if you could remember, in like 2013, 2014, before the merger of the APC itself, it took courageous leaders like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president currently today, to put interest, to put the primary goal aside and look at the bigger picture. Would this men in question be able to do that? And how many people would be able to put their interest aside to primary goal to probably the bigger picture of what they are talking about today? But for me, I'm also going to advise the APC as a party that we need to probably look at areas of managing Kwankwaso as a home, who's owning just one state, and the state in which is owning is a very integral state of in Nigeria, that's the Kano state. That the APC must try as possible to manage him in order for that measure not to work, because it's all a game. All politics remain local. So the APC too must actually do some certain things in order for it not to, for this measure not to work, considering the harsh economy in which we are faced in. It's not only Nigeria; it's a general thing and all. But has a bit more of a peculiar one, basically because of our not being because we haven't been able to invest in the past like we should have done. Maybe we would have been able to come out of some of these situations in which we have found ourselves. Anyway.
All right then.
I
Thank you
think
very
that's
much. Thank you very much, Babatunde. Now let's come to our studio guest now, Mr. Fatunke. Now, the person leading this, ready to lead, Atiku Abubakar, who one would say has been a person that has tried for the longest time to clinch the seat of the presidency. Do you think that Atiku would be the right person to lead a coalition that would unseat the APC? Looking from antecedents.
Moses, if we went into a football match, you don't know whether you will be the one that will win or maybe me as an underdog will be the winner. And suddenly, as an underdog, I got a penalty against you. What do you think I will be saying? Of course. I will come out there and tell you that I won you. Well, I'm the winner. I've taken the prize. But that has not fundamentally looked not just the nuances, the realities of the moment. Because if that match is replayed, you, Moses, will come so ferocious. Perhaps, you come so ferocious and you will just dagger me to submission, as if we are playing basketball. I am speaking in parables here.
And I'm lost because I was wondering.
No.
I was wondering.
No, I'm speaking in parables here. If you as a party suddenly, with the judicial pronouncements from the Supreme Court that is now smelling like road so suddenly that you had tried to decimate, forgetting a day like this is going to come, and they give you victory in places like Plateau, in Kano, in Cross River, in Bauchi. Why would you not now want to now raise your shoulders? Because if you look at PDP, now looking at the opposition, PDP, Labour Party, NMPP, and the rest, of course PDP is the bad now on account of that. But does that win? Is it likely to win elections? Mr. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar needs to be a bit much more strategic. The position PDP was, and the position NMPP is today, and the position that Labour Party is in today, just holding to one state, happened to the jagaban of them all at one point in time. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, virtually the whole of Southwest was captured by the PDP, Blitzkrieg. At that time, and of course at that time, don't forget, I like to put it in, the Supreme Court was working very well. It was in their favor. Bola Tinubu stood ramrod, but Bola Tinubu never came out to the open and began to make this kind of justification. He went on the ground and started working. I have said it times without number. If Atiku Abubakar says he's going to lead the coalition on account of the fact that he has more parties like the rest, well, okay. But it's not likely to win the prize. If strategically he behaves like Bola Tinubu and says, look, my ambition, and now put it aside, ask other people. Bola Tinubu asked the likes of Atiku himself, the likes of, well, of course, eventually Buhari, the likes of the security advisor. Okay. He asked them to go on. He was eminently qualified. Can we have an Atiku, knowing fully well he has a great shoulder, to now ask that it's still time to still support a Southern candidate and support Peter Obi? Is that possible? And Aziz was trying to make an allusion to that. If that is possible, then that means, unlike the Bourbons of France, they've learned something. We were in this situation before we went into the 2023 election. Did they agree to step down from one another? Okay, well,
Exactly where I was coming
so you now have a replay. Nigerian politicians, to the best of my knowledge of them, are not only selfish, self-centered. They believe that they can make magic happen. It's not going to work. So I would rather want to change that nomenclature and say, I, Atiku Abubakar, even though I am taller than every other party, I am going to support a coalition, not lead a coalition.
Not ready to.
Not lead a coalition. What are you want to do? What do you want to lead?
Now,
what has PDP done in the past 16 years? They said they were going to be in government for 60 years. They are not necessarily any better than APC.
That's
Ideology is not part of it. It is what we are going to grab. It's what APC did.
Yes.
They eventually have grabbed it. It's for them to lose. They decide to lose. The only thing I keep on, and I will keep on saying, if Peter Obi, right? Labour, Peter Obi. I'm talking about Peter Obi. If Peter Obi can be supported by Kwankwaso didn't support that in 2023 election. If Atiku can now say we are going to support, because so that the South can go for their full 8 years, then I agree. Then we are going to start to talk. But all this, window dressing and just posing and doing all this will not get them there.
Okay.
Go and learn from the master. The master took his time with either chicanery, whether, great strategy. Go and learn from that master and then come out as a viable opposition. I agree with him that a united opposition needs to come and do. And in other words, we are even saying, do we really need so many parties?
Well,
do we really need so many parties?
Should we go back to strength of numbers now?
Chop and chop. What do you have it in there for me? Again, the bottom line for me is that Nigeria is not ripe for democracy, and we're not practicing democracy the way democracy should be practiced.
All right, let me come to Abdulaziz now. Abdulaziz, what party do you support, by the way? Because I see that you're a big player in the LCDA. in the LTDA in Ejigbo. Are you must be a party man.
I have no party.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm a proud I'm a proud supporter of the APC.
I didn't quite get that, but I heard APC. Anyway,
I said I have no other party but the APC.
Oh, okay.
I'm a part of the APC.
Now, as a member of the APC, looking at the opposition now, and hearing that there is possibly a coalition that might come to play and unseat the party, and also looking at the fact that a certain group of people who call themselves Concerned PDP League, a group of young people, you're smiling there, a group of young people have said, look, Atiku, if he wants anything good to come out, should not participate, participate in the 2027 elections. That's what this CPDPL, that's Concerned People's Democratic Party League, that's what they're saying. They are also pointing fingers at Governor Bala Mohammed, saying that, look, you two, shelve your ambition, do not contest, let others contest. Now, do you think that it is possible that these individuals, Bala Mohammed, Atiku Abubakar, who has a lifelong ambition to be the president of Nigeria, would be able to come to a truce and shelve their own ambition for somebody else, that will come out of the merger to be, the one that will fly the flag of the merger? Do you see that happening, really?
Thank you very much. I'm going to be factual with you. Some of this, uh, some of these are, as young people, some of these are dreams and what we feel is possible. Sometimes some of these things don't work out politically. It's not I like the way we always think things should be. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. That you said a particular group, as young people said, the man, the Atiku should not be the one to lead any coalition. For me personally, I think I'm going to towards the line that a whole lot of people do not believe, based on Atiku's antecedents, a whole lot of people do not believe in his person, and a whole lot of among these gladiators that are probably at one point in time dealt with Atiku, they know him to be an ambitious person and all. So, well, whatever, I hardly take anything Atiku says seriously. That's for me personally. But it goes beyond me. That's why it's all called politics. I don't know if he will be willing to put aside his own ambition and told towards a line of maybe looking at the OB, and then Kwankwaso. I don't know if Kwankwaso himself would also accept to probably be a running mate, or maybe present someone, and at the end of the day join forces together. But I think my own advice would be for the APC as a party, as a whole. One, if you look at what happened at the last election, the lives of His Excellency Governor Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna, looking at all he did, and how he sticked his neck out, and that we are able to have the mandate of today. I'm not saying it's the only one. The APC must find a way to probably try to settle individuals like that, and because you can hear the higher young youths clamoring for that, and that's probably they are being one way or the other. Maybe it was just like more like a Southern agenda or something. So what I'm just trying to say is that the APC must find a way to probably look at the way of their reward system, and probably find a way to manage the Northerners, and that's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, in order for the Northerners not to think that it's just a way of probably not carrying them along in his own government. But if all of this is managed and well looked into, I do not see anything probably changing the ruling party come 2027. And like I said, when it comes to the issue of young people feeling that it's time for them to probably come together, it's always difficult for us to agree. It's always very difficult. We have watched it at different levels. If you look at the Labour Party that was full of young people and all and everything, the whole of cases that they probably lost in court and all is based on young people not wanting to accept for each other. Oh, I got the ticket first, you got the ticket, this and that and all. And there's no way you can remove all of these things from this game, because these are part of what determines who is going to lead or who is going to represent you from the House of Rep to the Assembly to the governorship candidate to the then before you come into the issue of presidency.
All right.
And we have not shown that sign that we are ready yet.
Okay.
Based on what we have seen so far.
Okay, Abdulaziz, yeah, you are a supporter of APC. Now, Atiku was a founding member of the People's Democratic Party in 1998. And since the time the party was founded, he has defected to other parties since the time the party was founded. Now, including APC, do you think that if Atiku had stayed in APC in 2017, yes, would he have stood a chance to, secure the presidential seat back then?
There's no way Atiku would have been able to secure the presidential seat, even if he had stayed in APC. Politics is, it's about, I got my back, you got my back. The egoistic part of, which I'm sorry to use, the egoistic part of the former vice president in wanting to go after what he in wanting to get everything he wants with the aspect of being able, because he has the financial capacity. Because if you look back at, you're talking about now, this is a man that has been running after wanting to become president ever since 1993. That's during the time late MK Abiola contested. He also ran for the ticket at that time and all, based on, I think it was late Yaradua that spoke to him and made him pull down his aspiration, and probably supported MK Abiola. If you look at it then too, as at that time, it should have actually even been the running mate of MK Abiola. Certain things happened, and I'm just going to be honest to you.
Okay.
The man Atiku himself is not a sellable candidate for people to accept.
That's your point.
Your opinion.
That's your view, which is fine. It's fine. It's good to have an opinion like that. But let me come back to you, sir. Now, we know there was a coalition just before the 2023 elections. Some parties came together to wrestle power from the APC. Let me just quickly remind you of those parties. We had the NNPP, that's New Nigeria People's Party. We had African Democratic Congress, ADC. We had Social Democratic Party, SDP. We had Allied People's Movement, APM, People's Redemption Party, PRP, and the Labour Party, and also National Rescue Movement, NRM. They all came together to form a coalition to wrestle power from the APC in the just concluded 2023 election. But that coalition did not see the light of day. What do you think will be different this time around that Atiku
Do you live in Nigeria?
Heading it?
Do we have light in Nigeria?
Do we have light?
Is there light at the end of any tunnel?
Okay.
No.
I see.
I am serious.
I see where you're taking that from.
About the point
not
I'm
seeing the
making.
light of day.
They came together to do what? Were they serious? Did they have a consensus? The name
do you think it's the same thing that will play out now? That's the question I'm asking. What do you think will be different this time around?
the name that missed my attention was No Ribadu.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the strategist and the political tactician of our time, like him, dislike him, or give it to him. He stepped down. This coalition that you are talking about, did any of them step down that this should now be the presidential candidate? People are not serious. Just taking us for a ride, in my opinion. And within that same coalition, it was alleged that the ruling party was the one that was sponsoring, here and there, you go and form the coalition. Alleged. I don't know. It's all still part of strategy. I come back with a few, sound bites. I've made one. If Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is going to be serious and genuinely serious, because by that time we would have been close to about 80 or thereabout, he will step down. And what I'm going to say may not be very democratic, but realistic for a Southern candidate. That Southern candidate, the one I see right now, is Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi has just one party at Abia. Just like Kwankwaso has just one party. Can each of these parties now stand ramrod and beat their time, govern their states very well in relative terms? Lagos State shown some good example, not in all respects. And what did Bola Tinubu do? He was able to claw back and get that clawed back. But they need the Atiku factor. The Atiku factor in the north is now divided somehow, somewhat into two. Okay. Between Kwankwaso and himself. It's still going to be split. And if Atiku, with due respect, is not seeing that now, I hope he will eventually see. I mean, they say a day is too long in politics. Eventually see it and grab that situation. On the side of the APC, I dare say the APC, as we speak today, are not smelling like rose. No doubt about that, because this president has taken some very hard and harsh decisions on one hand, perhaps some indiscipline in so many other areas, in making sure that he builds the trust of the people. Nigeria is broken. In 2023, whether it is going to be LP, whether it's going to NNPP, Nigeria is broken and Nigeria needs to be fixed. But with some form of character that I agree, a person like, and I'm going to brass tacks here, a person like Peter Obi, if he had been able to surround himself technically in some other deficient area to grow the economy with his kind of character. So, something is going on well for the APC as we speak.
What is that, please?
The Buhari factor. Kabir Buhari, say anything you want to say about Buhari. Buhari factor in the north is still potent. Even if you think it's blindfolded. Reality is that the man still has electoral value in the north. And that electoral value, if Bola Tinubu still latches onto that, we see that he's latching onto that. There's going to be a book launch very soon of Mr. President. Open your eyes and see, and go and see political movement. He's still very relevant. If Buhari still stands somehow with the APC, then we have a situation where we have the deep blue sea and the hard rock. Either way, you're going to die. You have to choose one. And the other aspect of it is now then, look, we are saying APC is not performing well. Yes, I think they are not performing well in the main. But I'd like you to take a very careful notice of something that happened over the weekend or late last week when the progressive governors met with Bola Tinubu. Some side bites came out of that. You may say they are political sound bites. He's now saying the only way we can continue to be relevant is now to really perform. So APC can then change and begin to perform and do things. Part of it will be constitutional review. Nigeria is not working. Our electoral system needs to be completely overhauled. There has to be a lot of independence. And you think in your mind, Moses, talking seriously now, you think in your mind that this Jagaban is not aware, even though he's stepping on the wrong toes now, he can also change. And the only formidable thing to now do, if Atiku is serious, is to calm down, real calm down like Bola Tinubu came down, and give somebody like Peter Obi a chance. And Kwakwaso now say, yes, I didn't want to give you that chance before. Okay, I'm going to hold sway in Kano. Look, let's find a sharing formula. When I say sharing formula, not sharing the spoils of office. To now see your brain, my brain, Atiku's brain, for the sake of Nigeria, will give APC a good run. But will that happen?
Will that happen? That's the big
Will
question.
that happen? Because Moses wants to be the one that will get to the promised land, even though God said he's not going to get to the promised land.
I will get to this one. I will get to this one. Well, we have joining us virtually, we have Olayinka Ola Daniels, who is a legal practitioner. Well, good to have you join this conversation, albeit you're joining kind of late because we're wrapping up this side of the conversation now to go into the other one. But quickly, let me get your view on what we're talking about here. Now, we're talking about Atiku intimating the public that he's ready to lead a coalition of political parties to wrestle power from the APC. Now, you do know the antecedents of Atiku. You also do know, I'm pretty sure that you're aware, that there was a coalition of parties that tried to wrestle power from the APC just before the 2023 election. We also do know that the man himself, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, just would I say lost his spokesperson Daniel Bwala to the APC as it stands now, even though in an interview Bwala did say that he informed Atiku that he was going to see the president and also told him that, look, this was how his meeting with the president went. Now, do you think there is a formidable opposition for the APC if this coalition comes to fruition?
Good morning, and good morning, viewers. On that, one thing we must understand is that today is not the first time we hear about coalition, like you said. But then, the question is, do we have a formidable opposition? Now, when you talk about formidable, because it's not just about coalition of political parties coming together and they want to usurp power, because it's all about power. Because the truth is, you are talking about a current administration. And if you look at the way it has started its own work, we are looking at good governance. We are looking at things.
All right. Quite unfortunate there. Well, we seem to be having a problem with the quality of the network. And, okay, we'll probably get his view much later. He'll chime in on this one as we go into other parts of the show. Well,
up next on VUP this morning, a former minister's friend offers to pay the 50 million naira ransom for abducted sisters. Details in a moment. Stay with us.